Alright, what's up traders? So welcome to my channel for another market update for you guys. So it's kind of looking like Bitcoin wants to make a quite powerful move going forward very soon. So I'm going to show you the bearish scenario and the bullish scenario. Let's take a look at the charts. Alright, so here we go. Here's Bitcoin on the weekly on Binance. I'm looking at BTC USDT on Binance. Pretty clear, clean chart here with this diagonal, this horizontal, and this short RLC. And just like I've been talking about for quite some time now, it's kind of looking like we are seeing this rounded top forming up here, confluent with the lower part of the RLC being the 618 Fibonacci retracement level and this horizontal support and resistance area after getting rejected off this diagonal that you get from using the high up here around 20k down to the high around 14k. So the weekly is looking quite bearish, and if this weekly candle can't close above 10k, I do really think we are going to see lower prices for Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at the daily chart here on Bitstamp. So this is the daily range that we have been looking for the last couple of weeks, and we are now once again testing range EQ. I do not think that range EQ will hold here. I think we're going to break down, and I think the area we are going to test is range low around 8.5 to 8.6k. Very simple, very simple. What I'm looking for is break range low to the downside to have a move down to 8.5 to 8.6 being range low, complement with the weekly 21 EMA and the daily 200 exponential. The daily 21 EMA, we have not seen a reclaim of the 21 EMA on the daily. It's looking quite bearish, but we are still ranging between this range EQ and the daily 21 EMA. So right now I'm not super bearish, not super bullish. I'm pretty much a little bit neutral, but geared towards the bear side, because we're really testing this area over and over again. And by the way, guys, happy midsummer if you're from Sweden. We have, it's this national holiday where we celebrate. I'm not sure what we celebrate, but we dress up and jump around a big pole that's kind of looking like an upside dick. We jump around like frogs. We basically eat a lot, drink a lot, fuck a lot, and it's true, really. We have like a baby boom 9 months after midsummer. So yeah, just overall a pretty good time. So happy midsummer, guys. All right, so looking at the 4 hour here, it's quite obvious that this support has been tested over and over again. It's quite likely to break down. We still have the daily 55 EMA down here acting as support. Let's add the moving averages. We are going to adjust it a little bit, and you can see now the 21 EMA is really sloping pretty hard to the downside, and the 55 EMA is still sloping to the upside, obviously. But in a couple of days we will probably see the daily 55 EMA come up and test this area above, adding more confidence to this area as support and kind of removing some strength from this area down here, right? So right now it kind of looks like Bitcoin wants to break down, and I'm looking at the 8.5 to 8.6 area. I'm not in Bitcoin, I'm mostly in cash right now, waiting for a move. And to the upside, I'm looking for this gray box here around 9.5 to 9.550, break to the upside for a move up to 10k. That would be really bullish, but the real bull trend will start when Bitcoin breaks 10.5k to the upside. And it's really 10.5k that's interesting. And if we break 10k to the upside, we are most likely going to, if we break 10.5k to the upside, we've already broken the diagonal resistance. So it's just very, very important for Bitcoin to break this area to the upside before a strong move higher. It's looking quite likely that Bitcoin wants to go down and test range low. So if you're in Bitcoin, I would be careful. I would maybe hedge my position, especially if we fail to hold this as support. if you are in Bitcoin and you want to find some profit taking areas, obviously you have 9.5, you had 10k and 10.5k, and if we are going above 10k, I would hold my position with like 10% open, or 20% off the position open with a trailing stop if in case we actually do break out of 10.5k. And if that happens, I would be looking at 11k as resistance, 12k as resistance, 13k as resistance, and 14k as resistance. Above that, it's quite likely that we are going to hit all-time highs. All right, so that's BTC. Now let's take a look at the BTC dominance chart. So BTCD here on, yeah, it's not on an exchange, but yeah, you know what I mean. So we are seeing another up move from the BTC dominance. We I usually like to trade this only on the daily time frame, honestly, because it's just way easier to see on the daily time frame. We had a very nice alt window right here, and if you guys are following me on Twitter, I posted last night that you should be very careful with alts right now, because alts have ran very nicely in the last couple of weeks, right? And they won't continue to run forever, right? So you need to be very careful with your alt composition. Move your stops into profit if you're in good profit. Use a manual stop, put your stops below the last swing low in the 4-hour or the daily, whatever, however the chart looks, what makes more sense. But preserve your capital, because Bitcoin is going to move quite soon, right? And when it does, the BTC dominance will likely rise. And if the BTC dominance reclaims this area, alt will suffer even more. However, we are seeing some weakness for the BTC dominance here. And if we get rejected up here, like we got rejected here, and that saw some nice moves from alts, but only for a day or two. Now, if we get rejected here and fail to hold this low as support, we are most likely going to see alts perform very well going forward. And the support I'm looking at is, all the way down here. And that would bring almost as big of a move here as, this big move might come down here, which means that the altcoin window that we've seen up here might repeat itself. But for that to happen, Bitcoin needs to range, right? Range or slowly bleed. I don't think that's going to happen. So be careful with alts right now. Do not take too big of a position. Remember that if you are in alt, if you are in an altcoin, you're also exposed to Bitcoin's potential downside or upside. So if Bitcoin pumps, the BTC dominance will probably rise. If Bitcoin dumps, the Bitcoin dominance will probably rise too. So being in altcoins is also like being in Bitcoin. You're exposed to Bitcoin, right? Because you trade alts versus BTC, probably, and you sell your altcoins to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin dumps, you can, your altcoin position might get stopped out. You will sell into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will lose value. So you need to really understand this relationship and hedge your altcoin position. Personally, I never try to have, with my combined altcoin positions, I try not to have more than 4 altcoin positions at a time, and I try not to have the risk of those 4 altcoin positions exceed 5% of my total capital, my total portfolio value, right? So if all those altcoins get stopped out, I will lose 5% of my portfolio, and if Bitcoin really dumps, I can quickly hedge that Bitcoin exposure and maybe open up a short to actually make money even if my altcoin positions fail. Let's take a look at Algo BTC. We are still not seeing this resistance get reclaimed. Not interested until that happens. That BTC still can't reclaim the daily 200 simple. Let's adjust that one quickly. Well, it's actually pretty. We are going to take a look at KMD BTC. We still haven't reclaimed this resistance above. I need to see a reclaim of around 810 sats. Troy BTC is actually still looking pretty good, and I do think we will see a move up towards the 50 sats area. So looking good. If you are in this, be patient. This is a long-term trade. One BTC still can't reclaim that resistance. Not interested. Actually the wrong one. Gotta refresh this chart because I think I'm looking at wrong 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 chart. Should have another list here for another watch. The watch list should look different. Now, is that going to change if I... Yes, perfect. Troy, 1, Civic. Still can't reclaim this resistance right here. God damn it, it's actually completely wrong here. Yeah, whatever. These are interesting too. So, RBN BTC, we're actually seeing a move down here. We got rejected off this resistance area, the area that I marked out as take profit 1. We're actually seeing a move down here. Now let's add the RLC. Where is the RLC? Is it confluent with that possible support area? And yeah, what do you know? Perfectly on that 220 sats line. So I'm looking for a test of this area. I'm looking for bullish market structure on the hourly before I jump in on a trade on KMD. And obviously, gotta be careful. I'm probably not gonna enter anything over the weekend, because Bitcoin will most likely over this weekend, you know, do some weird fuckery like it always does, or usually does on weekends, right? I wanted to take a look at the strat BTC too. So just remember this one. This was a really nice trade we had back a couple of market updates ago. I can't remember when. You know, maybe two or 3 weeks ago. And this turned out just beautifully, right? Just beautifully nice, almost 4-hour trade. We're not testing this high time frame resistance above here. So what I'm looking for on the next trade on Strat BTC is for a daily open and close above here. And this is actually a good example of why you wait for a daily open and close and not only a daily close. This is a daily fake out. You want to wait for a daily open and close so that you will not get faked out. I'm looking for a daily open and close above here. We'll zoom into the 4-hour or the 1 hour to find the perfect level for an entry when we actually get that break. All right, so let's take a look at the Forex market. We got USD JPY. This is what I'm seeing on USD JPY. We got the breakdown of the short LC here. We had the perfect touch of the 618. We did actually trade this and we took profits down here. So congratulations to anyone who joined in on this one. What I'm looking for next trade is this area to break down to the downside. Right? I want to see, let's see, do I want to see a daily open and close above? Yeah, I want to see a daily open and close above below this area, right? Around the 106.800, something like that, this area. Take profits would be down in this area. How would the trade look? Well, let's take a look at the 4-hour. Currently, I'm thinking that the trade is going to look something like this. It's all depending on how price action actually looks when we get the daily open and close below. But I'm looking for something like this, right? So it's going to be a good 2R down to the first take profit. And actually, I think you should just take maybe like 25% on each position and I have, you know, the last 25% open for lower prices. So that's what I'm watching on USD JPY. Let's add a alert here down in this area. God damn it. Yeah, so I forgot to upgrade my account. So yeah, we're just gonna have to keep an eye on this one. Euro USD, we are seeing the head and shoulders breaking down here, and we are seeing price actually coming up to test the neckline of the head and shoulders. This is where I want to fill up on my position. My average entry is now up in this region. I want to build some more here to bring my average entry up here with a stop loss above here. That's what I'm looking on Euro USD. Let's take a look at Euro GBP. We are seeing a breakout here of this level. I want to see this daily candle close above this general area right here for a possible trade. What am I looking at? Well, I'm looking for a retest of this area and I want to take profits up in this area here, right? So let's see. How would the trade look? Well, something like this, right? You enter here. Stop loss would be below range EQ for a move up here for a good 2.2 R. That's what I'm looking at on this one for a nice little swing trade. Euro versus the Swiss franc. We are inside the short LC. I want to see bullish market structure inside the short LC. Right now we're seeing pretty clear bearish market structure. We are seeing some nice hourly bullish divergences on the RSI and MACD, so that's pretty nice. I like that. On the 4 hour, are we seeing bullish? Well, yeah, we're seeing equal lows on price, and we're seeing higher lows on the RSI and MACD. So yeah, I not clean, but yeah, I like it. So let's see if we can find a trade on this one later today. I'm probably gonna post it on Twitter if I see something. So check out my Twitter if you haven't followed. If you're not following me on Twitter, I post like probably mostly all my trades on Twitter, and everything I'm looking at I try to post as much as possible on Twitter. That's definitely where I'm most active. So check out my Twitter profile if you haven't already, at libs42. GBP USD, we got a kind of like a head and shoulders on this one too, and we broke down, and I'm looking to fill up my position inside this red box resistance. I want to see a rounded retest, and we are going to see a rounded retest if we come back up to retest. Beautiful setup on GBP USD. GBP JPY, I'm liking this one. We got a breakdown of this area. I'm looking for a rounded retest to test the last low pre-breakdown. Take profits would be this low down here. Not really 100% sure about this one. We'll have to take a closer look when we actually touch this entry point. Now, let's take a look at gold. We got a pretty nice breakout on gold today. This is an area I've been watching. For a quick trade on gold, I'm thinking we might see something like this. We got a 4 hour, the 4 hour breakout here. This would be a very risky trade, but I'm liking it, right? So you want to enter on the last high pre-breakout. You want to take profits up here, and the hourly, yeah, I like that. Now, a risky trade like this one needs to have a high R for actually, for it to actually be worth this trade. Do like this area for possible take profit. We need to find like this. Obviously, we broke out of this W. We retested it here, but the stop needs to be below that area. I'm thinking the stop should be below this low right here. So this is something I'm watching on gold. So let's see. Make that white. I want to have my stop below here for a almost 3R. Do I like it? Well, I don't know. Kind of makes sense. I like it. I think I like it. So let's see where this 4 hour closes. Closes in 34 minutes. So let's see. This could be a nice trade for the day. That's gold. Let's take a look at silver versus the US dollar. So this is a short setup that I'm looking at on silver. We're getting a nice pump right here on silver, but I'm looking for this area to break down. And I think that if Bitcoin breaks down, it's probably going to break down because the S&P500 is breaking down. And if the S&P500 is breaking down, we are probably going to see a move lower for silver, which is pretty, I mean, it's pretty risky to take this trade, because usually usually in the short term, if the S&P 500 and Bitcoin moves up, gold will probably see a small move up too. So this is risky because I think that general consensus in the market is bearish. I think that we're going down, right? So this is obviously a bit, risky, and that's why it's probably a good idea to actually wait for a 4 hour open and close above. But I might actually take this trade on low risk. I like it. For the upside on silver, I'm seeing something like, so we're at 20 minutes now, so I'm just gonna try to wrap this up because I like to keep these videos short, around 20 minutes max. So for silver, if we take out this stop loss area right here. So I'm not in this trade. I'm waiting for this one to actually break down before I enter. On silver, I want to see, first of all, this area break to the upside with a 4-hour open and close to get interested in a possible long. All right, S&P 500. We're seeing a tick up on a move up on S&P 500 right here. We're approaching resistance conflict with breakdown area here and here, right? So this is a very interesting, very strong resistance for S&P 500. It's very likely, in my opinion, that we are going to get rejected here and start our move downwards. But if we reclaim this area, I would be ready to call. I would be ready to be bullish on S&P, actually. So yeah, it's looking indecisive right now, but if we get a daily open close above this area around the retest, this is definitely bullish. Oil. So we took a look at oil yesterday on my stream. So the first entry I had planned on this one was down here. Obviously, we kind of held that perfectly. I think the stop was here. Now I'm looking for, you guys remember the yesterday market update? I'm looking for this as a trade on oil. So I want to enter around this area for a move up here. That's what I'm looking on gold. Oil. All right, thanks for watching. That's it. I will upload this video as quickly as possible. See you guys in another market update, hopefully tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to keep you guys updated every day of what on what I'm watching. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.